Hey guys, so today we're going to kind of add to our low poly portraits that we made. Um, so this was mine. I didn't get any further than this, but you should have yours completed, completely done. But we're going to actually add a background to that. So we're going to actually create seamless background patterns in Photopea. So the way to start is just to find an image that you like, that you want to create a background pattern with, and it'll be a repeating pattern that's seamless, so you can create kind of like a tile almost, and then create a pattern that will just line up perfectly no matter, so you can place it all together and it's seamless. So, Atrafloor is just a flooring company from Europe, but they actually kind of specialize in pattern because all their floors are a different pattern. Some of them are actually tessellation patterns, but like some of them aren't. Like this isn't tessellated. It's just a pattern that repeats. So we're going to be creating this type of a look, basically. I mean, I'm not going to do exactly this. I'm using the dandelion instead, but some of these are tessellated, some of them aren't. It just kind of depends on the pattern. This one's tessellated. But this one isn't. It's just kind of random splotches, and this one kind of repeats over here. So when you put them together, it will be a seamless pattern, basically. But you might want to go to atrafloor.com and just kind of check it out, because they have a lot of inspiration here for just different kind of cool modern patterns. I found a dandelion that I really like. I think I'm just going to make a black and white pattern. Just want something kind of simple. So I went with this one. I found this. I just searched for dandelion black and white. And then I'm just going to do open image in a new tab just to get the full size, and then just drag that off, which I already did. It's on my desktop, but you can also right click or control click and save image to downloads, or save image as and put it in your documents folder, which actually might not be a bad idea. And if in your documents you would have, Photopea assignment, Photopea low poly assignment. Okay, so let's go to Photopea. Photopea, I think it's Photopea actually. Let's go there. So what we're going to do is create file new. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this in inches. Let's make it 8.5 because we want this to fill in the background. And we want the 300 DPI on that. And maybe let's just make the background transparent for now. So 8.5 by 11 inches with a transparent background. And we can name it poly background or something like that. Actually, let's not put any. There we go. So create. So here we go. This is a 300 DPI canvas. So it will print clearly. Okay, so we need to do a file open, and we're going to open up that one image that we found. Here we go. So we have two files open. And then we can let's see what we can do with this file. So this is the selection tool, basically. There's an object selection, there is a quick selection tool, and a magic wand. Let's try using the magic wand, especially if you have a solid background color like this one. The magic wand will work well at just selecting that white background or whatever solid color is in the background of your photo. So we have the background selected currently. Let's do a select inverse. Command C that for copy, or Control C on a PC. Go back to your background color or background image. Create a new layer and then do Command V. So we're going to paste that into that new layer. So I actually got this into my layer. I'm just going to zoom in and take a look. There's still some white in here that I didn't really take care of yet, so we can go around with the magic wand tool and just select the white You might have to zoom in. So I'm just going to do this and then I'll resume the video. So I actually found a kind of a simpler way of doing this. If you go to select color range, we could actually do like replace and make sure you're on the eyedropper tool. So grab that and then click on the color that you want to select. So I'm wanting to select that extra white that's left over. And then in this mode area down here in the color range window, push replace. I think if you do plus or minus, I think just go to replace. That's the best option. And then make sure you click on the color that you're trying to select. Push OK, and then I can just push delete. And that should have gotten all of... sorry, I kind of had to stop the video there. So I just pushed delete, and that got rid of all of the white. So what we're going to do with this layer, let's unlock. I had it unlocked, so let's make sure it's not locked. But to do a Command I, or Control I, that should have made it white. The background, we can use the Command A to select all, and then Edit, Fill, and we can use black, opacity at 100%, and push OK. So that, I'm going to kind of make it a black background with a white image on the top. You can do it the opposite way. You can do it however you want, but Command I on a black object will automatically make it white, because I believe it's inverse. It means inverse, Command I, or Control I on a PC. And then so with this layer, we're just going to start duplicating it. So let's do Command D, because I can see I still have some dancing ants. So let's duplicate this layer by kind of clicking and dragging it over the new layer icon down here. And let's just use the Move tool. And let's just start kind of positioning these things around our canvas. We'll just kind of make quite a few copies to begin with. And then we'll just start kind of moving things around with the Move tool. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to use shortcut commands that don't work. We can rotate this thing. So edit, transform, edit, transform. We can scale them or free transform. We can rotate. Looks like there's a couple other options here. You can flip things horizontally or vertically. But I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of rotation on some of these things. So that they're not all like totally perfect. So I'm going to finish arranging these and then I'll start the video back up. So I've also opened up this image that I found, much like the dandelion, just a black and white image. It does have a few issues, but I think we can fix it. It's got this kind of light watermark in the background. But if I go to Image Adjustments, Brightness and Contrast, I should be able to bring that the brightness up enough on the white color to actually kind of, I don't know, burn out or fade out that watermark if we make it bright enough. The contrast, I don't know if this is really doing anything. I don't think it is really. So, but the brightness did help to kind of get rid of that watermark that it came with. I mean, as you can see, if I bring it this way, but we can actually kind of burn it out if we just really pump up that brightness. Okay, and then next up, I think I'm just going to crop this because I only want to use one of these. So get on the crop tool. You might have to do a Command D to deselect the dancing ants that are there, but let's go to the crop tool and let's just decide which feather we're going to use. I'm not sure if it totally matters. I don't really know which one's my favorite, honestly. But maybe we'll use this one. So just click and drag and then just push return. And that'll crop it. And then let's use the magic wand tool again to select that white background, and then do select inverse to get the opposite of the background, which will be the feather shape. And do a Command C to copy it, and then let's bring it in here. Actually, before we copy, let's do Command I, Command C to copy, and I don't know if that worked. Command V. I don't know if that did work. Let's delete that. Command I. Command C. When I... Okay. Well, Command C. I don't know. Command V. Okay, there we go. Does it look good black and white though? The opposite of what we had. Oops, Command Z. I accidentally didn't put it in on its own layer, so I have to make a new layer and then do Command V and use the Move tool, not the magic wand, to actually kind of position this where we might want it. And then I'll just start kind of filling in the pattern with my feather as well. Okay, so I kind of have my pattern looking somewhat the way I'd like it to. So let's actually, so this is one of the feathers. So like how we have this one layer here of an extra dandelion, you know, we turned the eyeball off and locked it. We're going to do the same thing with one of the feathers. So we kind of have a backup of the feather. So I'm just going to put it underneath here and lock it. Actually, I'm going to rename it. And then lock it here, and then double click here, and then back. Okay, so these are our two backup images. So make sure you have these before you start any additional steps. Okay, so the next step is to just kind of click all the other layers besides the backup files or layers. So click, you know, at the bottom, push shift down, and then scroll all the way up and go to the top and click there. So everything is selected besides these two backup layers. And then go to layer, merge layers. And that'll create kind of one layer with everything in it except for our backups. Okay, this next step is kind of the interesting step where things start to get a little bit more interesting. So make sure you're on your merged layer. Make sure you have that selected, and then go to Filter, Other, Offset. So this is kind of where we can start to create kind of a wraparound pattern. So make sure it's on wraparound. And then you can kind of adjust the horizontal and the vertical pattern here. You probably want to have some kind of coming off both edges, but not have it too messy, I guess, if possible. And obviously you can see there's some gaps. We can always fill those in with our backup files. So push OK, and then we can actually kind of bring back in these two backup files and fill in our gaps. That's what I'm going to do right now, and then I'll start the video back up. Okay, so now I've kind of got my pattern filled in, but what we want to do now is select the bottom, push shift, select the top to have everything selected besides the backups and the actually we might want to move these underneath the background layer, and then actually include the background this time in the backup, in everything. So select everything besides the backup files, I guess. And then do edit, or let's see, image, where is it at? Layer, merge layers. So everything should be kind of brought together now in one big chunk. Okay, so let's just push shift on these two backups, and actually let's just get rid of them. I don't think we need them anymore. So we should have just this one layer. So let's go to edit, define new, pattern. So pattern added, that's a good thing. So let's create a new file, file new, 8.5 by 11, 300 transparent background, perfect. Let's name this 2 maybe, since it's got the same name. Create, and then double click on this layer, not on the name, but on the layer to bring up the layer styles. And then we'll go to pattern overlay, and then if we go here, it takes a little bit to load, but our pattern should be in here. So we can select our pattern. It's taking a little bit. And then you can actually, I believe you can change the scale of the pattern.